Boomer Sooner, welcome back to the Sipping Sooner, baby. Let's talk today, man. We're going to talk about, did Brent Venables, did he kind of admit to what, I kind of alluded to in a previous video about the defense? And let's also talk about, you know, the actual state of the defense. And congratulations, my man, Jaden Jackson. Big nasty, come on in, baby. Big DT, 300 pounds. We'll take it all day. Catch you in a minute. Let's get it. Yeah, so let's talk about Jaden Jackson. Defensive tackle, IMG, one teammate of David Stone. Yeah. So yeah, we excited to get his commitment and start building this line, man, so we can get up here in the SEC and handle them boys. You know what I'm saying? That's right. So let's go back. I'm gonna get to Brent Venables here in a minute, but let's start back with Speed D and what position it ultimately left us in after the departure of Lincoln and Alex Grinch. Now, when you're talking about Speed D, I remember when OU was on a coaching search, for their defensive coordinator. I was excited, man, looking at Pete Golding film, looking at Alex Grinch film about their defenses and whatnot. The thing that stood out to me about Alex Grinch's defense that I liked so much is that he was doing what he was doing with less talented players in Washington State. And I like the way that they did pre-snap movement and all the shifting and all of that. I like that, because at the time we already knew that we was also struggling here with our defensive line. Even though we had a few players here and there sprinkled in as a whole, yeah, it was rough. We had Nick Bonito at that time, so he was coming off the edge. But, outside of Nick Bonito, you couldn't really count on someone to be consistent with the pass rush to get pressure on the opposing quarterback. So I was excited about Speed D. I was watching all kind of Washington State film. I was like, oh, man, I'm into this. I'm really feeling it. Some of them had to drop weight, lose some weight so they could, be the Speed D. The problem with that is that them boys was getting pushed around and gassed and and then you couple that with Benny Wiley's workouts. Man, them boys was weak and underweight, and if you really pay attention to USC last year, you could see, man, in their tackling, oh man, it was sad, man. It reminded me of us, We had our own issues here last year, but I mean, when you watch USC trying to tackle, it was bad, man. It was real bad. So while he was at Washington State, he had a DT called his name was Hercules Mataafa, and man, this dude was like, I don't even know how much he weighed. He couldn't have weighed no more than 250, 260, but he was playing DT and he was playing it well to a hell of a level. He was all conference, if I'm correct. Man had 10.5 sacks and 22.5 tackles for loss, man. That's how serious he was. Yeah, man. He was putting it down. So I was excited because I was thinking to myself, man, when he gets here, we going to be all right with the athletes that we have here. He should be able to do the same thing. I was telling all my friends and, hey, man, y'all wait until y'all see this defensive coordinator, man. He's going to get us right. Well, that wasn't the case. And as usual, I always give, coaches and coordinators, a complete year and a half to get they people in place and they schemes and everybody have to learn. But what we know is that Alex Grinch's scheme is like as basic as it gets. You can come in and, if you got the talent and whatnot, you can play right away in his scheme. That ain't the case with BV though. You have to be a little more assignment sound, so that's what basically happened to us last year when he kept it vanilla. Like I said, man, them boys was flying around looking good. I mean, they still was, trying to find themselves and learn a little bit of the terminology, but overall, they was flying around and doing well. All through the first 3 games. I mean, when we came out of the Nebraska game, I was like, okay, we might have something here. And then reality set in against Kansas State. I want to go into what Brent Venables said at the Big 12 media days. He kind of admitted it, that the boys was tired, man. Fourth quarter, they didn't have nothing left in the tank. They was missing tackles. They already still trying to grasp where they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to be doing. And now you got, you tired on top of that. You missing tackles. You sloppy out there. You missing assignments. You missing run gaps, run fits, all kind of stuff. So, like I said, I believe in this year right here, a lot of that's going to be corrected. Yeah, you still going to see mistakes from, every now and then from, some of these players, because some of these players, they just now coming into the system this year. But the good news is, like you say, they have other players that can get them right as well, even outside of football, back in the dorm, they can be studying and now they can teach. They couldn't teach last year because they was trying to learn their damn self. So I expect to see, a vastly improved defense. I'm not talking about a baby step. I think they're going to take a giant step. Now, what that looks like, we don't know, but we do know it should result in, better play and more wins, especially if the game is down to a one possession, you got to make a stop. I have much more faith in them this year. So, that's all I wanted to touch on. I didn't want to spend too much time on her today. I got to go get my sip on. I already been sipping a little, but been a sip a lot. So, peace out. Boomer sooner. Now I'm out this bitch. You already know. Peace.